Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. This is a good one. This is a real good one. Dabu77 is the channel. 520,000 subscribers. A channel I've followed for, I would say, 15 years, maybe more, for Dabu7. He's been awakened for quite a long time. He was one of the very early people to awaken Dabu. Again, 15 to 20 years, I would imagine. And again, I've followed him for a long time. So he's well on the ball. He knows the crack. And yeah, we've got a really interesting one here, to be honest. The Economist, The World Ahead, 2026. So, signs and wonders, in this particular case, signs. And The Economist is kind of a thing for the elites, as Dabu will go on to say, and anybody who knows the game we're playing, if that's what you want to call it. You're often told about future events ahead of time. The world ahead, 2026. Again, it's kind of in the words there. We're not in 2026 yet. So we've got The Economist here, a magazine type thing, again, kind of for the elites. With a lot of pictures on the front of the cover here, which in previous the Economists have predicted the future in some ways. So I just thought this was very interesting as well, and again, it could be a look into the future, and a lot of the things predicted on here are kind of things that are coming down the line. And again, things coming down the line if you know the general plan of the New World Order. That's what we're calling it. Again, I hear many people speak of the New World Order. I heard Charlie Veach mention it maybe 2 or 3 videos ago. He mentioned the New World Order and the global cabal. I hear many YouTubers mentioning it who know basically the crack. But again, Charlie Veach 2 or 3 videos ago mentioned the New World Order. You'll hear it again. That's the term that's most commonly used for where we're going. Is a good way of putting it. If you know what I mean. It's a good way of summarising what the fuck's going on. To be honest, we're heading to a new world order. This world order that you're currently living in is coming to an end. The economy is coming to an end. Freedom is coming to an end. And the new world order will be totalitarian government. It'll probably be communist, really. They're going to claim it's socialist, but it's pretty much be communist. Um, yeah, that's the future. And again, this magazine here has predicted the future before. So let's have a little bit of Dabu7. Again, good channel. If you want to know, like, kind of stuff that's going on in the world, the real truth of what's going on in the world, another good channel that knows what the fuck's going on.
Hey guys, Dabu7, we've got the new Economist magazine cover here that's already raising some concern and people questioning, wow, I wonder what's going to happen here in 2026. Well, we've looked at this in years past, and yes, this thing has had some accuracy in calling out things that are depicted. This is a magazine that the Rothschilds have been connected to since, like, the inception for a long time. Even though they were recently talking about trying to sell a portion of it, they're still connected, and this magazine is made kind of for the elites, and it's their way, as I see it, to telegraph little things that are going to come, that are expected in the time ahead. Now here, I'm just going to try to dive into this whole thing kind of quickly and point out some key things that I've seen. Because again, the track...
Right, hold on a minute. Sorry, Dabu, we'll just full screen it here a moment. And let's have a look at this. Again, Dabu will come back on and say what he thinks as well, but let's just have a little look beforehand. Now, things that are popping out to me, we've got Donald Trump here, as you can see, pointing at a graph that's going downward. That could definitely be to do with the economy, which I mentioned quite a lot. Again, this is called The Economist, the magazine. 2 swords two swords over the economy. Hold on, I need a cough. It's better. Don't smoke, kids. Don't smoke. Um, Although looking at this future, probably smoke, to be honest, and smoke fast and smoke hard and smoke quick here, and so you know what I mean. Smoke them if you've got them. So right, we've got a few things. Right, we've got Donald Trump pointing at a graph. Like an economy graph that's going down. We all know that the economy is precarious. It's got two swords over the top of it. We've got pills dotted everywhere, as people can see. There's pills. Is this anything to do with a disease or anything like that? Because there is vaccines somewhere. I think there is like vaccine needles, maybe further down. I'm sure I've seen vaccine needles somewhere. Unless I'm just missing them, maybe they're further down, or maybe I've made that up. We'll see in a minute. That's Zelensky. We've got Zelensky over the right here with a pair of binoculars. We've got people on a boat, kind of worshipping something. We've got a fist. We've got the American flag with a fist in handcuffs, chained to a cake with 250 years on it. It's 250 years anniversary of America next year on July the 4th. We have a ship, a cargo ship, disguised as a cargo ship, but it has guns on the cargo ship shooting at America on its 250th anniversary while America is in handcuffs. We have multiple missiles around the American area. I mean, we're talking World War III here by the looks of it. Multiple missiles by America. On the left here, we've got Putin, we've got Netanyahu, and we've got the China president, I can't fucking know Chinese here. Yeah, they're on the left. We've got Trump on the right, economy crashing. We've got a ship shooting at America on its 250th anniversary. We've got missiles flying. Zelensky's over here. That's the Indian president. I'm not sure who this blonde woman is, if anybody knows who the blonde, unless that's Erica Kirk. Could that be Erica Kirk? It's the only blonde woman I could think off the top of my head right away. Could that be Erica Kirk dressed in red? Maybe, I don't know. That's the mystery for me. Still, that one. What else have we got here? We've got robot dogs. We've got still a lot of pills knocking around here. Pills everywhere. Again, pills, 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 pills. So we've got a PlayStation controller here connected to what looks like a brain. So could they be plugging people in, AI possibly, into computers? So again, it's again predicting. As you can see, this is just the front cover of a magazine, but it's very much depicting things. Again, what does all this mean? What America with missiles in handcuffs, a cake, something shooting at the cake. Again, I have explained this is 250 years of America, what it does all mean. But I mean, in a case of the normal people of the world who don't really know what's going on, if you want to call them the normal people, or the zombies, what do they? What would, not that they would get to see The Economist, but what would they make of such things? Do you know what I mean? So to me, that is predicting World War III. It's predicting an economic collapse in 2026 that will be followed by a war on the 250th anniversary of America. America is in handcuffs. The flag is there behind the hand. We have missiles, nuclear missiles by the looks of it, firing from America after being attacked on the 250th anniversary of the country. It's kind of what I'm seeing here. We've also got this thing here, this penis-looking thing that the women went to space in. So maybe we'll get that again. We have a satellite shooting at the boat that's shooting at America. We have fighter jets here as well, tanks, again, lots of pills. Could we be in for another COVID experience? Something along them lines. Again, a lot of people fell for COVID. Or could there be a real, I always thought as well, though, COVID, the next one could be actually real. These people have viruses in the lockup, no problem at all. Every virus in the world these people have in places like Porton Down in Wales. We've got all the viruses in the world. All these governments have these viruses. But could the next one be a real one? And anybody who doesn't get vaccinated will die because it's a real event this time, whereas COVID was just a bluff in many ways. Again, you don't really know who you're dealing with here if you don't understand the game and what's going on in the world and the people who are really in charge and what they're capable of. Again, there's World War III being predicted here, you know what I mean? Like, they are capable of starting World War III because they will not fight in it. They will be very, very secure in places that will not be fucked over by war, is what will happen. That is exactly what will happen if a world war starts. All these people here will not be involved. None of these people will be involved. I'm really wondering if that's Erica Kirk. Did you know what I mean? If it isn't Erica Kirk, who is the blonde woman? I'm not sure of the significance of this boat and what this is meaning. Is this possibly the Muslims, the beards, again worshipping something, coming on a boat? With the boat crisis we've got in England, these, again, I've said about sleeper cells coming over. Could they be what the boat is? Could they be waiting for 2026 and is the call next year with this everything to do with America? I don't know. I don't know, but again, I seen this yesterday on Dabu 7. And I thought, fuck me, this is very, very interesting. And again, these things kind of do predict the future because they're not magazines for me and you. We don't read this. You will never read this magazine. You would probably never have seen this front cover if Dabu and me hadn't brought it forward. So yeah, it kind of does predict the future for the rich people. Like, this is their magazine, and again, what can you make of all this? Really, what can you make of it? With the world the way it's going, we are in economic peril here. Here's Trump pointing at an economic graph. There's swords over the graph. There's coins on top as well. There's definitely coins. They're supposed to be coins. We've got all the other world leaders on the other side. We've got America's 250th anniversary. The handcuffs are significant. The missiles are significant. The boat shooting at the cake is significant. The satellite shooting at the boat could be very significant as well. So we've got fighter jets all over the place, drones, pills, lots of pills. That'll be significant. Pills all over the board. Tanks. There's a tank, a red tank. Could that be Russia? There's a red tank down here at the bottom as well. So Dabu 7 will go down and have a look a bit more, and I'll let Dabu talk about it a bit as well in a second. But I just thought I'd have an early look at it and what we were looking at. And again, some very, very interesting depictions here. Even the PlayStation pad with the brain connected to the PlayStation pad. Again, look at the future that we're going into. Again, the boats, and a boat here, but not a dinghy, but a boat of sort of, looks Egyptian to me in a way. It looks sort of Egyptian, but could it be the Muslims? I don't know. But that's the cover. Again, we've got this again. Is there going to be another thing with Katy Perry? Like that? That's the thing that she went to space in. I'm not thinking Katy Perry is going to go again, but is something else going to happen with that in the next year? I don't know. People could see what the future plans are for that. I don't know, but it's on there. It's been drawn, so something's significant with it. Let's listen to Dabu.
Record is good for them in terms of pointing out things that have come true. And you can see America front and center. Right here, the flag, it's in shackles. Not a good sign. On its birthday, 250, which happens 4th of July of 2026. Now, there's a lot going on here. And you'll see plenty of robots, drones, bombs in the background, blasts, fires on the horizon, ships, and even a satellite or two. This one is shooting at a vessel. It's a weapon. And it hits a boat that looks like it's carrying containers, but they pop open and it's actually guns. And they fire a shot. And who's the shot going at? America. You'll also see the red balloons on the birthday. There's a total of 7 around the entire thing. You'll see 2 big red tanks that are kind of ominous across the entire thing. Zelensky sitting up.
Right, sorry to interrupt Dabu again there. Yeah, Zelensky's up here. Again, there's the world leaders' tanks. So we'll go down a bit and see just what else we've got. Here's a needle, a vaccine needle. I knew there was a vaccine needle. So there's a big vaccine needle next to a missile. Hold on, let's see if I can go down a bit. We've got the American dollar sign in cracked again to do with the economy collapsing, and Trump's pointing at the economy. We have an American dollar sign cracked. We have a gavel here, judgment, or possibly a loss of just the gavel is cracked, so possibly a lack of justice in the world. And again, what we're seeing in England with the government sending people to prison for tweets and going against the agenda and people knowing the truth, so maybe a lack of justice in the world or something, I don't know. But the gavel is cracked. We've got a robot here. We're seeing the robots coming out. There was a robot dog at the top. So more robots. Robots could be policing us or something, I don't know. There's another robot dog. There's another robot dog. So 3 robot dogs on it. We've got vaccine needles, hundreds of pills. We've got a guy here with a rocket launcher on his shoulder. Yeah, so I mean, the sort of the big thing is war. Wars are massively depicted on here, being the tanks and all the war. So war is massively depicted. An economic collapse is depicted. Robots, vaccines and pills are depicted. So again, this is, I mean, this is what the future looks like, to be honest. Again, anybody who knows what's going on, the New World Order and how we get to the New World Order, all these things are the way to the New World Order. So out of chaos, they will bring order. Well, chaos is war, chaos is viruses, chaos is economic collapses, chaos is all these things. So it's not looking good here, to be honest. Again, I've said this, everybody's going to hate the New World Order, but you have to make it there first, and you're going to really fucking hate the journey we have to take to get to the New World Order, and then you're going to hate it when we get there. So, yeah, and it's a path of war, economic collapse, turmoil, tragedy, fucking 7 years of tribulation, and a shit show, again. General common theme on this channel, bagwash and the shit show, and that's very much what's coming. Here is also a drone type tank with a machine gun on. Again, we've seen these robot dogs fitted with machine guns. I've seen that. Here's a robot fitted with a machine gun. So again, AI possibly being, you don't need police and armies, you need robots, and robots take commands. They won't falter, they won't turn on, they won't have milk of human kindness, nothing at all. They'll be robots, they'll follow orders perfectly. So, guns on robots, robot dogs, AI, the future, economic collapse, war. Again, AI with this pad connected. We've got all the world's leaders, we've got tanks, we've got vaccines. It's not looking good. It is not looking good. There's a fax or something being sent here. Oh no, it's a ballot box. That's somebody voting and putting an X on the vote. Could that be people spoiling votes? And then again, the future's bagwash. It really is, because the future's the New World Order, and to get to the New World Order, we have to go through ultimate bagwash. Is kind of what all those people that know the crack have been trying to tell you for quite some time, that you're really not gonna like the future, and if you even make it fucking there in the first place, that's the other side of it. If you make it. So, no, absolute shit show. Yeah, but this is the scenes of the the Economist, and again, what else are you looking at? That's what you've got to ask yourself here. What else are you looking at other than what me and Dabu were kind of trying to explain to you here about the future, about the world that we currently live in, the precariousness of the current world with wars, the precarious of the current world's economies. We're getting robots, which we're seeing in real time, and drones and all this sort of stuff. We've had the COVID crisis, and here's vaccines and pills everywhere again. Boats and missiles, and 250 can only mean America's 250th anniversary, and it's being shot at by a boat, which is being shot at by a satellite. And then there's nuclear missiles being fired up here from America. So if we're not taking that as World War III and these tanks and all the world leaders, I don't know what the fuck we're taking it as. That's the other side of it. So it's not looking good out here, boys and girls. It's not looking good. Again, I've tried to say this for a while, without sort of being a doom monger, but it's very difficult because it is doom. It's massively doom film, but without being a doom monger, We're in a fucking mess here. We're in a real. There's fucking ambulance as well, right on cue. Not only are we in a real mess here, it's a fucking shit show, and again, it's a very scary future. Like it's a very scary future. I mean, again, if we do live in the Bible, if that's the other side of it, whether you want to believe that or not, if we do live in the Bible, this is the worst part of the Bible that's coming. And again, the top of that list is a fucking it's one hell of a shit show list. The top. So, if that be true as well, then you're in for a fucking shitstorm, the likes of which you've literally never seen. World War Three, nuclear missiles. Yeah, you're in for a fucking real ride here, a real ride. And my only advice, to be honest with you, is like again to an atheist, it'll sound like madness, but you need to get on board here. You really need to get on board. If we're in the Bible here, and there's a good chance, there is a good chance of that, I'm afraid. So yeah, get on board, get on board. So let's hear a bit more of Dabu.
Up here, Maudie, Maloney, I do believe here, and a bunch of these robot dogs and robots all over the place. You'll see the robots again and again, some melting ice cubes, and what looks to be pills all over the place. Some are going to say they could be Tic Tacs, UAPs, UFOs.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. There is a melting ice cube down here near the bottom where you would. Oh, it's melting ice down here at the bottom again. Yeah, so there's melting ice down at the bottom of the world. Is that something to do with like the poles, a pole shift, or poles melting, a nuclear blast at the pole, melting the ice very quickly, which might cause a global flood? I don't know, but there is melting ice at the bottom of the globe there. Again, it means something. Everything on this is again you need to say everything on here means something. So yeah, there is ice melting at the bottom there again, talking about like pole shifts, the Great Flood of Noah, if that's what you want to call him. Gilgamesh is another name, but there is a great flood happened upon this earth. Absolutely, 100% fact. There was a global flood. I mean, I've been looking into all this dinosaur thing as well. Like, dinosaurs were not millions of years ago. They definitely weren't. I'm going to make a video on it pretty soon. Dinosaurs lived with man and probably died out in the flood. And the reason they're buried is because of the flood. It was a global flood and everything got buried. So, again, this probably wiped out. Like, what we know, our history is wrong. I don't know. I'm not convinced 100% on there was a place called Tartaria, but again, I don't know if them buildings in America. I'm not 100% convinced on that, but there is definitely that we're not in the year 2025 here. The year's wrong. Something happened in what we would call like the 1700s by the looks of it, and we started again in like in quite recent history because again, if you think how fast we work in technology terms, like if you follow the official history timeline, there's like 1,000 years where we done nothing. We didn't innovate or nothing. So that didn't happen. They've made that up. And there's pain. I need to make a video on it to explain all this better. To be honest, it's not really going to wash without some of the explanations and pictures and some of the facts of what we're looking at. So I'll have to make a video on it. But it looks like there was a cataclysm maybe about 300 or 400 years ago, and we've started again after that cataclysm, and the year's completely wrong. And yeah, that it's like again, and technology doesn't. We haven't for how fast we innovate as human beings. We're not innovating fast enough for 2,000 years in how fast we're doing it. We should be far ahead of where we are if we've been innovating for 2,000 years. And if you look back in history, these ancient civilizations clearly had better technology than us. So we wiped out when we started again, but I don't think it's as long back as people think. So I'll make a video on that as well. But anyhow, let's get back to what the fuck's going on here.
All this other stuff, but they look like pills, different colors, same size, the round ones and then the oval ones all over the place. And I'm going to come back to the center here for last. Let's look at the bottom because I'm going to point out you're looking at one big soccer ball. This
Yeah, so soccer ball. This guy here looks like Ronaldo. Kind of looks like Ronaldo. He's kicking the whole ball, right? Well, the World Cup's next year in America, Mexico, America, and Canada, but predominantly the World Cup is in America, which will be in summer, and probably on July the 4th, when it's America's 250th birthday, the World Cup will be taking place in America at that time. So we've also got the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. There's a skier here, and looks like athletes, boxers, runners. I'm not sure about the actual Olympics. We've got robots, we've got more vaccine needles, two big vaccine needles. As he said, there's ice melting at the bottom here. We've got more bombs, robots, and satellite just off the picture there. You can't see it, but there's another satellite. Not quite sure what this is. Could be either, it looks like a controller for a TV or pills, like a pill thing you would keep pills in. Um, Again, mentioned somebody voting here with an X on the ballot box, so a vote could be, some big vote could be poignant next year. Yeah, and that's kind of what we're looking at here. Again, the footballer is, it's a football. The whole thing is a football being kicked by what looks like Ronaldo. The World Cup is in America next year at the time of the 250th anniversary of America. We have all this talk of war and tanks and everything. I'm not sure who this blonde woman is. Dabu mentioned someone, but I'm wondering if that's Erica Kirk. Um, yeah, very interesting, very interesting. And that's robots, lots of robots, future AI, fucking robot technology, missiles, wars, vaccines, Trump economy collapsing, world leaders. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Gavel, gavel, cracked gavel, tanks. So that's kind of the scenes. The prediction for next year, according to this, and I wouldn't be far off predicting the same thing myself in the near future, is economic collapse and war. I wouldn't have put vaccines in there and another COVID, but that looks like that could be on the cards with what this is predicting. But with times of war can come poverty, disease, and famine, etc., etc. So very, very strong possibility in times of war and rationing, etc., etc. A gavel being broken, that'll be a big thing, but that could be the time of justice is gone. We're in the time of Satan in many ways. Satan will have his run, the 7 years of tribulation. There is no justice anymore. The gavel is cracked and gone. And the devil runs the earth, and World War III will ensue. Is kind of the tale. Again, you don't have to believe the biblical version if you don't want to. I would kind of suggest you do, but that's completely up to yourself. There's a satellite here. I mentioned the satellite. So, yeah, that's the scenes.
is a guy down on the bottom kicking a soccer ball. So I looked up quite a few things from what I've seen in this because things stood out. You know, where's the World Cup going to be for 2026? Where's the Olympics going to be? Because I noticed I seen someone running, but then I seen fighters. And then I seen someone with like a javelin. And then I seen a skier. And I looked up the Winter Olympics, which are going to be held in February, coming up pretty quick. That's going to be in Italy for 2026. So you can see the robots again all over the place, the drones. And what I don't like more than anything are these freaking two big needles on one on each side here. Uh uh. Red wine spilled all over the place. It's war. It's a theme of war. See a guy.
Yeah, red wine. Again, that blood. Could that be blood? There's red wine. Oh, there's the wine glass and red wine spilling. There's more spilling out of a red wine glass. Didn't notice that till he mentioned it, but yep, two red wine glasses spilling wine. Could that be blood, spilling blood? Yeah, theme of war. I think he's very correct. A theme of economic collapse, war. robots, vaccines, viruses, a lack of justice, a lack of truth, possibly. Yeah, that's what it's predicting. Oh, it's not looking good, to be honest. It's not looking good. And again, if you're following, or if you're paying attention, as I like to say, this is all very much on the cards. Even with before this, looking at this magazine and this people will find it hard to believe, as I would imagine as well, that the people know what's going to happen and people are planning this, and it's not going to happen by chance, and it's all part of a big agenda. And again, we can't stress that enough. And again, the reason we go on about it so much in the New World Order, if that's what you want to call it, is because it involves everybody. You can't escape. Everyone's going to hate it, and if you even manage to survive to get there in the first place. Again, the future's absolutely fucking catastrophic. Like, it really is. An economic collapse in World War Three is beyond catastrophic. The likes of which no one on this earth has seen. Like, nobody has seen days this bad. And again, if we go back into the Bible, it's the worst time in the Bible, which is one hell of a fucking list to top. Especially if you knew what went on before the flood. If you don't know what went on before the flood, like really went on, it was a fucking. I mean, it's you would never believe it. Like, you'd never believe it. All to do with giants. I'm going to make another video on giants as well, probably today, because I've found some very, very interesting things on the giants. Um, yeah, so the future is bleak, to be honest. It's real bleak. I hate making videos and saying that and fucking going on about this and going on about the economy and going on about fucking the Illuminati and the New World Order, as all these things, if that's what you want to call them. But ultimately, it's because we're fucked here. We are fucked. Like, I can't stress how fucked we are. If the human race don't wake up and get rid of all these people in power imminently, we're all in a lot of, well, we're probably all going to die. That's the beauty of it. We're probably all going to die in a horrible way, either through fucking poverty or war or disease or famine. Like, that's how we're all going to die if all this transpires, sadly, and it looks like it will. Like, again, not trying to doom you here. I'm trying to, in many ways, wake you up to the future. And again, in many ways, be prepared. Again, like, famine is coming here, like rationing is coming. You might want to stock up on foods or any supplies of any kind that you feel that you need that might be not very accessible in the near future, especially in times of war and maybe even a global war. Stock up on whatever you can now if you've got the money to, is the only real advice you can be given, to be honest. If you're not going to join the fight and try and wake people up and stop the future, which is going to be very, very difficult to do, I'll tell you now, then all you can do is prepare. That's all you can do. And believe me, stopping this is again, if it's biblical, it's impossible. There is no stopping this. It was written. It will happen. It was written, and it will transpire, and there is no stopping it. And that's another way why people who believe in have a strong faith. They're not worried, to be honest. They're not worried about all this. That's the other side of having some faith. That as scary as all this is, World War Three, more COVIDs, fucking robots, economic collapses, war, and more wars. As scary as it all is, if you believe in and have faith, and you believe in God, and you believe in the Bible, and you believe in Jesus, you believe this is all written, and it was always going to happen, and you can't stop it. So you're just waiting, in a way. You're waiting for all this to end, so you can end the bagwash and go to a better place, is the tale. Whether you want to believe that or not, you know what I mean? But the problem you got is, if you don't believe that, you've got nothing. Like, you've really got nothing here. You've got nothing but a bad future, wars, all these things we've mentioned, which are really, really bad. It's going to be a hell on earth, literally hell on earth. You've got nothing but hell on earth. That's all you've got. And is that a good thing to have? Is that a good future? Just hell on earth. So the answer is no. So with faith and a bit of belief come some peace of mind. I would maybe say, like you've got to, you don't have to be completely. It's going to be that bad, and don't got to. I still think you're going to worry, and it's going to be real fucking bad. All this, it really is. But at the back, in the deep of your mind, you might again look at the Muslims. Look at the Muslims and the faith that they have and what they believe, and in that belief there is a strength. So in your belief, there can also be a strength, but it's a completely different kind of strength. And again, that the heaven and earth will pass away. That's what it says. All this will end in fire, and you've been told that on multiple occasions. There will be no flood again. This will be fire. So again, sit where you want. Again, that's kind of how you have to end this. Sit where you want to sit. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in Jesus. You don't have to believe in the Bible. But if you don't, then you've got nothing but a real bleak future ahead of you. That's all you've got. Bleak, bagwash, doom, and wars, and honestly, like, nothing good is coming here. That's why people like me have been trying to tell you this for 20 years, maybe more, because there's nothing good coming for us here. Like, this is real bad, no future, like no joy, no happiness, nothing, just bagwash all the way down the line for 7 years apparently. So there it is. That's The Economist, and that's what it's predicting for 2026, as you've seen at the very start of the video. The world ahead, 2026, wars, missiles, robots, vaccines, economic collapses, a whole manner of bagwash every which way but loose. So the only thing I can really, advice I can give you, as much as it sounds corny to atheists in 2025, is grab the Bible and start believing. And again, it's again, I used to be an atheist, and I knew if people said that to me when I was an atheist, I'd kind of laugh at them. I really would. So sit where you want, I suppose. Absolutely sit where you want. I'll leave it there. Peace. Again, it's not a good video, really, but it's just trying to put the message out there that we're not in good times here. We're really not in good times, and there's people predicting worse times ahead. And the way we're going, it kind of looks like them times are coming, especially the economy, like. But even on a level of war, we've mentioned Trump and this false peace again. This has all been mentioned, that it's a false peace. What are we looking at here? America being attacked, and again, America going around the world doing what they're doing, attacking Venezuela and sticking their oar in to pretty much everything. Again, do you not think somebody's going to get pissed off with that eventually? And there's plenty of world powers, Russia, China, Iran, who will be pissed off with all these antics, and might team up and do something about it, which I've mentioned. So this could be what's happening. It's all there to be seen, is what I'm saying as well. Like, it's not, this isn't outlandish predictions by the Economist here. It's not outlandish. It's very much all on the cards, unfortunately. So I'll leave it there anyway. Sit where you want. Peace.